I'd like to welcome you just now to our innovation pitch stage. Now this is the opportunity for us as Connected Places Catapult to be able to share some of the great things that we get to see every day. We have innovations coming in and out all the time, but this is our opportunity to share some of that with you. We have a number of great pitches that are going to be coming up over the course of today, and we're looking forward to sharing them. Can I just say that we, is that the Slido pitch? Okay, that's me, by the way. Sorry, I've introduced myself. I've kind of gone around the wrong way there. I'm Alistair Ritchie. I'm Head of SME Development at the Connected Places Catapult, and I look after our SME networks, a lot of our engagement, some of our proof of concept programs, and also our investor relations. These is the Wi-Fi details for anyone who needs to be able to connect during the course of today. Please feel free to log on. And during the course of today, we will be using Slido, as I think was introduced in the headline stage. I know this is a slightly more relaxed environment here, and it's a lounge style. It would be preferable the questions could go through Slido, because it's easier for us to manage. But if you do want to stick your hand up, that's fine. We will come around with a mic. But I do need questions to go through the mic, I'm afraid, because we are recording. And if you speak up in the room, we won't be able to get hold of you. Unfortunately, this has stopped. Oh, no, it's moving again. Excellent. So, in the first of our innovation pitches, I would like to welcome up Isabela Tatu. Isabela has over 25 years' experience in the shipping and trading world with a keen interest in metals, fuels, and renewables. For the last 8 years, Isabela has turned her focus towards making shipping more eco-friendly. Her journey into decarbonisation led us to fall in love with hydrogen fuel cell technology. And she's also one of the top 50 women in hydrogen as a recognition of the work that she's done. So, Isabela, I'd like to welcome you up, and please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me and to Connected Places. And I'm very happy to go through for the next 10 minutes to explain to you how we can turn waste into the energy. And I will take you through my eyes, trying to make a story so we can understand the complexity of the process. Okay. So, in the words of Captain Kirk, or Captain Picard, which is my favorite one, the space is the last frontier. However, here on Earth, we're having a different problem, and that is the waste management. So, in my eyes, the waste is our final frontier. These are the human civilization voyages from paradise to peril. If ocean could speak, then we'll follow the journey humanity. Our mission is to heal our planet, starting with our ocean. So what are these figures? 2.01 billion metric tons is created annually in terms of the waste. This amount is going to double by 2025, which means the cost is associated is $375 billion. Now, in the high-income countries, which represents 16% of the population, we produce a staggering 34% waste, which is going to be increasing by 19% every day, according to the World Bank. In the low-income countries, there are 2 billion humans that they don't have the facilities to use the waste in an environmental way, which means this waste is either burnt or dumped. So now I think we all have a good idea of what the waste is creating to our planet. But there is a good thing. It is a sea of innovation, sea of change to the innovation. And this is where a company like ourselves is bringing change, together with other many companies who are all trying to decarbonize the industry. So who are we? Clean Marine Shipping is a technology. We specialize in hydrogen fuel cell. Our fuel cells are alkaline, and we're using waste as a primary source. The technology is patented and is exclusive rights for the maritime industry. This is me, already Alistair presented me, and my co-founder, which unfortunately I think is stuck in the keynote room. He is the British-born fuel cell expert who has dedicated his life to the fuel cell. Prior to the technology, he was a TV producer working for shows like Countdown, specializing in science and education. So please do come and talk to us later if you'd like to know more about the technology, how it works. So we are a key player in a global manufacturing consortium. We are working with renowned scientists, like for example, John Appleby is one of the members of our scientists, engineers and academia. We have laboratories in France, Singapore, 2 on the go in Liverpool and Derbyshire. And recently, we are a very proud member of Maritime Research and Innovation UK. How do we relate to shipping? So the shipping has 2 essential issues, which is the emission and the ship waste. And by managing the waste on board of the ship and on board, we can create a resource. This is a quick example of how would look our process. For the visual aspect, will fit in a 40-foot container and includes 5 aspects. We take the waste, we go through anaerobic digestive, then palletize it, and then gasification, reforming, and fuel cell. So inside, we're taking the waste and we take the biomass and the biosyngas into the hydrogen, then we create the electricity. This is a quick example, but you will see much better in the video. And here it is. This is my co-founder. He is the science. So now we're going to show you a video. I think we need to. Okay, it's working. So it's an example of how it would work if our technology will be on board of the barge. So a ship will discharge the waste into the barge, and we go through anaerobic digestive, palletization, gasification, reforming, and the fuel cell. We create the electricity and we'll send it back to the ship. That can be, as I said, on the grid, on the shore, or on board of the ship. So what is the unique advantages of our fuel cell? First of all, our fuel cell is alkaline. We actually created, we have one of the largest electrodes, currently is 20 by 20 centimeters, with the highest one of 1 cubic square meter in progress to be finalized by the end of the year. Has an exceptional lifespan, we're talking about 10 years, and has a robust design, and also mainly it's a heat generator and a water resource. So at the moment in many countries around the world, the water is a big issue, like in Caribbean, for example, in Spain. So using the technology, it's a water source as well. So we have successfully done a laboratory trial. We're looking to do a live pilot, sorry, my accent, which includes a port assessment, a ship assessment, the pilot, and then we can look at the scalability. This is, just before I go to the figures, I would like to give you a snapshot. I would like to clarify this is some data from a recent project we done, but the final cost would be done as per assessment on the ports and the ship. So, as a snapshot, we have an installation cost of the unit at approximately $600,000. The unit creates 100 kilowatts per hour. The lifespan of the unit, it's a minimum 10 years period, and we estimate $60,000 per year maintenance cost. As a revenue, again, a snapshot basis, a 10 years period, we look at $1.4 million, of which electricity at 47.8% and the rest fertilizer, waste and water. This is where we use the global average numbers. Additional revenues, we're looking at employment, utility, and different ancillary values such as economic and legal. Again, on a snapshot, again, basis the information I mentioned before, considering that the unit will be funded from the beginning over a 10 years time, we estimate a profit of $800,000. Of course, these figures would be readjusted depending on the assessment we do on each port before the project starts. As a return on investment, the first phase we expect a 25% return, with a second 75% after the second 5 years done. As a general idea, again, if we do first unit funding, we expect by Q3 to be able to have enough cash flow to look at another second. However, depending on the funding and the grant investment, we can do the first year and so on. So, what I'd like to leave you today with 3 main parts about our technology. First is the superior technology. We're taking something negative, such as waste, and we turn it into a resource. Has a low capital cost and is the environmental protector. So I'd like to ask you to join us. Maybe I'm not Captain Picard or Captain Kirk, but I'd like to ask you to join us in this voyage of discovery so we can go together where no one has gone before. Thank you so much for your attention. And for any questions, please do let me know.
Hi there. So we've not had any questions through on Slido, but I've got one question I might like to ask, but are there any questions from the room? And why don't we take one from over there?
Isabela. Really excited about this innovation, as you know, and I think it'll, unlock a number of opportunities. First question is just the consistency of the throughput that's needed for the fuel cell, and secondly, I suppose on the electrical side, the versatility for a port of perhaps electric tugboats. And other vessels within the port control, other than just kind of berthing.
Sorry, I didn't hear very well. I guess the question is about the port. How will the feasibility go around the port? The throughput of the waste. So we will look. So that's why we have a port assessment first, because we have to look at the infrastructure. Like in a keynote speech, somebody was saying the same. We have to look at, is it enough space on the port, or we're going to use like a floating barge or a floating part where you can create the technology. It's the same goes for the ship, because we have the waste which is palletized and can be taken and the technology installed.
Did you have a second question, or no, that's it? Okay. So I did have one question for you, which is, you make a particular issue about your battery being alkaline. Is there a particular reason behind that?
Yeah, the fuel cell, we choose alkaline because actually is the other fuel cells in the market is PEM, so we chose alkaline because our science team, they believe it is the most robust, it's easier to design, and also it allows us to create the highest electrode, which is, I would say, in building for 1 square meter, which is perfect for maritime applications.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no further questions, I think I'd like to say thank you very much to Isabela.
Thank you so much.
Really great to hear from you. And yes, thank you.